Vince McMahon's protege, Austin Theory, actually went to Logan Paul's podcast and they talked about Vince McMahon, man. And that made me realize that this guy lost his push only because Triple H took over and he wanted to spite Vince McMahon. It was clearly just that. It was either that or this guy probably thought that, oh man, I'm not gonna push the guy Vince McMahon was trying to push, and because Vince McMahon has a lot of bad publicity around right now, people are gonna think, oh, this guy's so great. He's not pushing the guy who Vince McMahon wanted to push. This is so cool. And it's pretty obvious that Austin Theory has kind of understood this as well.
Vince McMahon called you his protege.
I don't even know if we could say his name. I mean, I don't know.
It's 2026, dude.
We're
They
good.
did. So I don't know if you know this, but this
100%.
weekend they actually did a UFC event over on the White House lawn.
Vince McMahon called you his protege. You came in here. You started kicking ass quickly. You had this kind of meteoric rise. You were on par to be the next guy. Money in the Bank winner, wrestled John Cena, beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
So I remember my time in NXT, and it was kind of just, I felt like I was there, you know? And then something started to work when I was in the group The Way. I just started being...
This guy actually had a great fucking physique, man, and I used to agree with the fact that this guy could have been something. I don't think he would have been the face of the company ever. It's surely not gonna happen now. But at any point, I think he would have been more of a Randy Orton. And he needs to grow his hair back, man. I don't know if he's balding or what, but he needs to do something there. He needs to get a transplant. Do something, it doesn't matter. Get your hair back, buddy, so that you can look like a fucking star for once, instead of just some random jabron who's in the roster.
Showing more of my humor and being more funny, you know, showing that. And then I feel like that's kind of the tip of it for me in NXT. And then when I got to the main roster, I didn't even kind of realize Vince was pushing me and behind me until I remember when I won the US title and I became the youngest US champ. But at the end of that match, Vince wanted all the heels to come out, hold me up in the ring. And then as I left the ring, he came out at the end on the stage and held my arm.
Fun fact, by the way, when that match happened, most of the people, not most of the people actually, but quite a lot of people on the internet were whining. You know why they were whining? Because Finn Balor was the one who lost the US title. They fucking wanted Finn Balor to be pushed, like a guy who's obviously never gonna be the person who everybody thought that they will be. He has had a pretty long career and good for him, man. But the fact is this. People at the time, instead of focusing on the new person who's in the block, were focusing on the fact that their favorite guy, Finn Balor, lost the US title.
Something's going on here.
Yeah.
We're going places,
Yep.
you know? But yeah, I feel like I always knew I would do great things here, but just not the detail of them, you know? I mean, it's been a crazy ride, you know?
It's been nuts.
But I guess like anything in life, you know, you have the ups and the downs, and I really feel like kind of coming down a little bit and just kind of reflecting and figuring out where can I be better? What could I do? Okay, maybe I need to switch the character and I need to do something else.
I think that's just coping, man. And I don't blame him for this. What else are you gonna do? I think the reality is pretty obvious and it's not his fault. What are you gonna do?
You know, be fresher on because we're on TV every week. So it's like trying to give somebody something different all the time. But yeah, that was that time period specifically. I believe that was between like the end of 2021 and then 2023. But crazy.
Do you feel like you got robbed when you didn't secure the Money in the Bank cash-in?
Yes.
To this day, I really think Triple H or whoever the fuck decided that he should cash in on the US title and lose, whoever the fuck that was, thought that people are gonna fucking like this because this is the guy who Vince McMahon wanted to push and look what we are doing to him. To this fucking day, I don't wanna fucking blame Triple H directly because I don't know who the fuck actually thought of it. Of course, Triple H was part of this entire thing, but I don't know, man. So, whoever the fuck that was, this is what I think they were thinking, man. And this is just my instinct, obviously, but this is really what the vibe was at the time, you know? Like, Vince McMahon was basically a guy who you can't even talk about, and Theory kind of acknowledged this right now as well. At that time, I can really see some idiot thinking that this is gonna be a good decision.
Yes. I will say, I'm going to go and run the play always, you know? If we really needed to be this way. I think for me, I just felt like, you know, even with the moment I had with Roman, I believe it was at maybe Barclays Center, and he hit me with the "Your daddy's not here anymore." In that moment, I wanted to say the same thing to him, you know, because in a way, it's like he was a Vince guy as well, you know, not in a way he was, but I felt like, yeah, just there could have been a moment like I knew like I wasn't gonna get the title off Roman, but even just building it to seem like, oh, here we go, and then, you know, I could lose to him, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, but like just give it more of a payoff because it felt cool, man. Like I did a lot of cool things with it. And I still think it's funny how like I have it in my office hanging and it's real dented, and I love when people see it and they're like, bro, you murdered people with that, huh? I'm like, no, Brock Lesnar murdered me with it.
It's such a shame what's happened. Like, they keep fucking people up who have potential. I don't know if he would have succeeded or not, but there was potential for sure. And it's fucked up now, man. Like, it's just not gonna improve from here. How exactly do you justify the fact that this guy, like, first he beat Cena, and then he lost to, like, random jobbers in 1 minute, like Jey Uso, and now here he is in the Vision, and he's the guy who takes all the pins. How do you justify him becoming a main eventer again? Like, it's just very inconsistent, and it's not supposed to be like that. People who watch wrestling nowadays, they just kind of look past it. Well, look, man, here is the thing. Even if these people look past it, if they act like, oh, well, this doesn't matter, wins and losses don't matter, and to a degree they don't, but it doesn't mean that you can just fucking lose every match. That doesn't make any sense. So, how do you justify this? I think it's basically over at this point. Maybe he can win a world title someday if he sticks around long enough, but that's not the same as being someone like Randy Orton or anybody else of that stature. He's not gonna be that anymore. I think it's pretty obvious.